What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing today? I know, somewhat early today. I know, a miracle. It's a miracle. Ah, yeah, a little, just 5 minutes late. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. How's everyone today? I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm just getting things ready. Mm. All right. Oh, I forgot that. All right. There we go. All set. How's everyone doing today? Like I asked before, I'm doing well. Just woke up. Super tired. I'm always tired. I'm old. Um, so I got a few things we're gonna discuss. First we're gonna talk about a gold star dad. Speaking up, this guy is the guy who uh he was a father of a soldier that died during the disastrous pullout of Afghanistan. He was one of the parents that was on the tarmacs when Biden decided that he needed to check his watch while waiting for some coffins of how many soldiers was it? 8, 7, 13? 13. It was 13. Okay. So yeah, 13 soldiers. Says right here, of course, 13 families. But 13 soldiers died. He was one of the fathers there. He was on the tarmac where Biden decided that he needed to check his watch a bunch of times while standing there waiting for the coffins to pass and all that stuff. So we'll see what he ends up having to say. And then the first attack ad using Trump's mugshot has aired. So we'll look at that. We'll come see. Come find out who it is. I'm sure no one's going to be surprised if you watch the GOP debate on who ends up being. And then Rachel Maddow is floating some conspiracy theory that Trump will remain president until he dies if he's elected again, which is insane. We'll see what she has to say. Maybe she has something. Maybe she's 100%. Let's find out. And then the 12-year-old uses the where's the Gadsden flag? A patch on that's a patch. So a patch of the Gadsden flag on his backpack and gets kicked out of school. But we have some updates on it as well, so we'll see that. And then finally, socialist, communist, whatever, wants to ban your assault weapons. And he's using the whole, choose your, the whole using dead kids as, or well, not dead kids specifically, but using kids as a guilt trip to try and get people to, ban guns because there's nothing like. We'll see what he has to say. We'll see what he has to say. The guy's, he's a congressman from California, Eric Swalwell. So let's go and we'll check him out. Hold on. FYI, this is the same Eric Swalwell who slept with a Chinese spy. And nothing happened to him. Shocking. But anyways, I digress. Let's check out these videos. Let's check out the Gold Star Dad one. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Gotta get my earphones in. There we go. All right, let's see what he ends up having to say. We're gonna hear what this guy's words are, not read the post.
Not a single person has been held accountable. Our so-called leader can't seem to even utter their names in public, not even once. Mr. Biden has run his entire political campaign for 50 years as the family man. Well, I've got news for you, sir. The curtain has been lifting, and that campaign slogan will never work again. We have seen what's going on in your family, and even worse, we've seen how you've been treating us as Gold Star families. And there couldn't be anything more disgusting and cowardly than the way you have treated us. You are a disgrace to this nation. You have no business having ultimate command over our military, and I regret not saying that to your face when I had the opportunity in Dover. I felt it more important to bite my tongue, but I also had more important things on my mind at that time, like receiving my son's lifeless body stateside. While I stood there on the tarmac, watching you check your watch over and over again, all I wanted to do was shout out, "It's 2:30, asshole." But out of respect to the other grieving families, I bit my tongue once again. Well, as you could probably tell by now, I'm done biting my tongue. You, sir, stole their lives, their futures, their dreams, and have ripped apart 13 families. You cannot even man up and admit that. You, sir, gave us all the title Gold Star family. You, sir, discredit honor and integrity. 2 years later, there are things I find myself thinking about. Where and what was Biden's logic sneaking out of Bagram in the middle of the night before ever getting a single Afghan partner or American civilian out? This is the purest definition of intentional negligence. This is just one of many irresponsible and negligent decisions coming from the White House. In addition, leaving behind billions of dollars of our finest military hardware has led to the biggest international free market in history. Unfortunately, this will undoubtedly lead to more American military lives lost in the future. Between what has been happening here domestically, for example, the border, over the last 2.5 years, and all your failed foreign policy decisions, I would venture a guess that you have more American blood on your hands, Mr. Biden, than any president in U.S. history.
All right, there we go. So that's what he had to say. There's not much I can really add to that because I 100% agree with the guy. Now, this is the father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmidt. And like I said, he's one of the 13 U.S. servicemen members that died during the pullout of Afghanistan. I guess this was during a roundtable discussion with other Gold Star family members before the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I'm just looking. Oh, and sorry. Here we go. In case you're wondering why he's so angry, there we go. This is the famous picture. Biden is on the tarmac, hand over his heart, watching as the dignified transfer remains of a fallen service member in Delaware. He needs to check his watch because, very important man the president is. But here's the thing. Yeah, well, some of you might be like, well, he's the president. He's very important. He's got stuff he needs to do. And while you might agree with that, it might be like, yeah, that's probably true. Here's the thing: he has aides. He has 1,000 staffers, billions of staffers, whatever amount of staffers. He's got a lot of people. He's got a chief of staff that's in charge of his, basically in charge of his schedule. And so this that's what makes this watch glance extra disrespectful. He's a chief of staff. He has staffers. They all know his schedule. They all run his schedule basically. President, that's what basically the president's job is he goes, one meeting to another, and there's so many meetings. He's got to have other people handling that. So this watch glance is unnecessary because he's got, a staffer, chief of staff, whatever. They're ones in charge of this. They'll grab him and be like, hey, all right, we got to go. This is what we need to do. That's kind of the job of the chief of staff, is to kind of keep the president, on at his meetings and everything, and let him know what the particular meeting's about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what made this watch glance extra disrespectful. Like I said, it's unnecessary because it doesn't matter what time it is. Your chief of staff, your staffers will get you to where you need to be on time. And I think any meeting you had afterwards, they would understand. I would hope that due to being late, it was because you were there with the they're standing honoring the transfer of the remains of a fallen service member that you've caused because you pulled out of Afghanistan terribly. If they don't, well then fuck them. If they don't understand that, fuck these people. Fuck that person. And so, but yeah, that's what really made this glance, whatever, very disrespectful. Let's see. So the Gold Star families on Tuesday hearing repeatedly criticized Biden administration, the Biden administration, on the pull of Afghanistan, and it was terrible. So see. Anything, blah, blah. So yeah. So basically, that's what it is. And I think we can all agree, 100%, what this father's feeling and saying. I mean, there's not much we can do about it, of course. That is life. But you can understand the pain this guy is feeling, and he has to deal with a president who doesn't really give a shit about his the people that he's just led to slaughter. So I'm not really sure what the meeting was about, the committee meeting. I don't know, but apparently it was, a lot of criticism was lobbied against the Biden administration, which is good. All right, here we are. The first attack ad with Trump's mugshot hits the airwaves. All right, so there we are. First attack ad with the super PAC backing Chris Christie is launching the spot as part of a statewide ad buying in New York, Hampshire. Of course, it was Chris Christie. Of course, he was the one who first used it. That seemed to be his strategy, is attack Donald Trump. Seemed basically his strategy. So, okay. Former President Donald Trump's mugshot is now appearing on TV in New Hampshire thanks to a super PAC backing one of his rivals for the Republican presidential nomination. Yeah, Chris Christie has like zero chance. He literally didn't say much. Except Orange Man bad. Oh, and speaking of which, I will be covering the second GOP debate. I have the day off, so I need to get a new filter. I will be covering it. So that's the Wednesday, September 27th. I just double check that. Yeah, September 27th. So, be here, be square. If you want to watch me watch them, I'm gonna watch them live. So, hopefully I'll make it. So hopefully I'll. But anyways, yeah. So, just that just reminded me. Yeah, I'll be watching that. So, all right. So the photo taken last week by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office when Trump was booked as part of the Georgia election interference case is featured in a new spot from Tell It Like It Is PAC, an outside group supporting former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. According to the attack ad, according to the ad tracking firm Ad Impact, the Super PAC ad is the first broadcast TV ad to show an image of Trump's mugshot so far in the presidential race. Tired of the drama, the distractions, the lies, it's time for conservatives to win again, narrator says as the camera zooms in on the image. All right, let's take a look at this ad.
Tired of the drama, the distractions, the lies? It's time for conservatives to win again. Chris Christie, a former prosecutor who convicted child pornographers, corrupt politicians, a successful blue state governor. Christie took on the teachers union and won, turned around Jersey's most violent city, and got Democrats to cut taxes. A real conservative. Christie tells the truth, and he'll beat Joe Biden easily. Tell It Like It Is PAC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Okay, there we go. I don't know. I think ads are always dumb, but that's my opinion. Some people might think ads are very effective. I think those ads are dumb. It mainly because they're just like they just sound just really boring and uninteresting, honestly. The ad is part of a six-figure statewide and buy on broadcast and cable networks. It will also be featured on digital platforms in New Hampshire, according to a press release from the Super PAC. Christie is focusing much of his president campaign on the Granite State, where the open primary systems allow independents to participate, and the GOP primary electorates is typically more moderated than Iowa's relatively conservative caucus electorates. The Super PAC closes on footage of Christie embracing New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, a Republican and vocal Trump critic, who has yet to endorse a candidate in the presidential primary. The pro-Christie Super PAC isn't the only group taking advantage of the striking image of the former president's mugshot. Trump's own campaign has been fundraising off the image. Brilliant. Sending out emails appealing for donations and selling t-shirts with the photo. The Trump campaign set out a fundraising email Monday night that claimed it has raised $9 million since the mugshot was publicly released on last Thursday. That's hilarious. All right, so yeah, there we go. It's Chris Christie who's using the first mugshot of Trump as an attack ad. Wasn't really pronounced, obviously. I'm sure if Donald Trump gets the nomination, the GOP nomination, then what we'll get is a more centralized, using the mugshot, where for this one it was more just the background of it. Wasn't the center of it, so I'm assuming once Trump lands the nomination, that's when it would be more centered around that mugshot, which I think would be a terrible idea, honestly. Because I think that all that does is actually pushes people further towards Trump. I think a lot of people are figuring out or learning that this is some bullshit that's going on. And whenever you post that mugshot, you're just getting more and more people that want to go, vote for Trump more than anything. So, oh yeah, I mean, all I have to say, like, Chris Christie's performance on the GOP debate was pretty, boring, bad, terrible, in my opinion. Of course, I don't think there's any way Chris Christie ends up becoming president. I think it's very, very hard. I think it'll be very, very hard for anyone to kind of like outdo Trump in recognition. And I don't know. I think Trump's going to walk away with the nomination, but I do think he needs to start coming to these debates. Maybe he'll go when it's like, more focused on, it's not like, it doesn't have a bunch of bullshit. Like there's like three or four of the candidates that really didn't do much. They're kind of boring. They're uninteresting, honestly. Whenever they talked, I kind of just wanted to skip through it. So that's my opinion anyways, but yeah, I just, I don't see it. I don't see it, peoples. I just don't see it. All right. So here we go. All right. So, this is Richie Amato. She is hardcore leftist. I think she cried when Donald Trump wasn't impeached or something to do with Donald Trump. She cried. I'll look that up. I'm look that up right now. Can't remember if she cried when Donald Trump was elected or what. Apparently, she cries a lot. Jesus, she shit cries a lot. All right, I can't find it, but I remember she cried at some point. There we go. I couldn't find it. She's apparently been crying a lot. She cries a lot, apparently. All right, here we go. Let's watch this.
The election means one of two things, if this is the way he's going to approach it. Either he loses the election and he goes to prison, or he wins the election, he doesn't go to prison, and is that for life that he gets to be president? Will we keep having more elections or no? If every election is a new opportunity for him to go to prison, do you think he allows us to have new elections? I mean, if those are the stakes, if winning the election is his plan to stay out of prison, what happens in that election if and when he does not win it? Does that kind of an election end with a graceful concession to a fair and square re-elected President Biden? I mean, if Trump and his supporters see the stakes as losing and going to prison or winning and being president and probably president for life, How should we expect that he and the Republican Party and Republican officials in swing states are going to handle the conduct of that election that Trump may very well lose? And because we are prone to forget, we have to say out loud, I mean, that we would be remiss, we would be willfully naive to ask that question as if our politics exists in a vacuum, somewhere outside the rest of our news. As if the politics pages are totally different than the crime pages, right? As if we are not in a moment where far-right politics is coincident with far-right violence, with regular shows of force from paramilitary extreme right groups, and with acts of violence by people who are explicitly and admittedly motivated by far-right eliminationist political ideas. Prone to forget, but we do not have to.
How does this chick have a show? Well, I know she has a show, but still. I mean, first off, that's just fucking insane. Like, I don't understand at all her points. There isn't just he either gets elected or goes to prison, or he wins and he doesn't go to prison, and then somehow becomes president for life. That makes no sense. Another option is he doesn't win the election, but a different Republican ends up winning the election. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is all assuming that he's the nominee. So I guess okay, no, it's this is what it really is he either loses the election and goes to prison, or he wins the election, he doesn't go to prison, and he pardons himself on all federal crimes, because you can do that. President's power to pardon is unlimited, except, or like, hold on, I don't know the exact terms now, I gotta look it up, but like it's basically the only let's do the correct, let's see. Okay. So, in Article 2 of Section 2 of the Constitution, president's power to pardon seems nearly limitless. The president shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty limitless, when it comes to federal power. Of course, it can't do anything about the state cases, but it can't do anything about it. It can pardon anyone virtually on anything on federal. So all the federal crimes that he's quote unquote been accused of committing is pardonable. So if he wins, or a different GOP candidate wins, and they can pardon him. There's nothing to say that the president can't pardon himself against a federal crime unless it's a case of impeachment. So in theory, Trump can pardon himself in any federal crimes. It's never really been tested. I think maybe the closest we've gotten to is Bill Clinton in 2001 pardoned his brother Roger for federal drug-related offenses before he left office. So, I mean, that's like the closest we've really gotten to it, it looks like. But yeah, I mean, it's just whatever. But anyways, yeah, that's another possibility. I don't understand how she gets to this theory that if he becomes president, he somehow magically waves his wand and there's no more elections. We have Congress, we have the Supreme Court, we have various checks and balances on the power. So I really don't understand how she gets to this theory. Like, okay. And also, Like, I just don't understand how she jumps to this conclusion that if he becomes president for life. You know, they said that last time too, and it doesn't look like it happened. It's never happened before, so I really just don't understand what her theory is. It just doesn't make any sense. Like all of a sudden, like somehow, like I just don't get her theory that all of a sudden, if he wins president, he becomes life, and he becomes president for life, and somehow prevents new elections. That makes no sense. He's never indicated anything, and nothing in his previous actions have ever indicated that he would somehow prevent elections from happening. Now, he could very well, like what's the word, like train, groom, whatever, one of his kids to succeed him as president by but they still have to be elected. So I really don't understand her theory. And also, she calls right-wing extremism, whatever, and she criticizes that violence. But the leftists, the Democrats, Democrats have gone out on stage or on live TV and said, if you see a person who you disagree politically, whatever, Republican leader, some shit like that, if you see a Republican outside, you need to go up to them, interfere with them, and tell them to leave, and shout at them and blah 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 blah, and tell them they don't, we don't want them here. That's far more than Trump has ever asked of anyone else. And also, do we just forget the summer of love? Like, do we just forget about that? Do we forget about the millions and millions of dollars of destruction that leftists have caused major cities? I don't know. I've always knew that Rachel Maddow is an idiot, but this kind of proves it. Like, I don't get how she leaps this. Now, maybe she goes into detail before and after the clip or something like that, but at least what I'm seeing here, and I'm not going to go and watch all of it. So I'll give the benefit of the doubt that says, she actually, she explained how she became this, how she got this theory, how she came to this conclusion, I guess, is a better word, but I'm going to assume how she got to this conclusion is in there. I'm just going to assume that, just to benefit of the doubt, because no one can be that fucking stupid. It's just kind of funny though. All right. Goddamn fucking chick. All right. So there you go. Now, next one. Oh, wait. Before I get to it, I got something else I need to do. Something super important. Not the most important, but fairly important, I would say I got something somewhat important. It's not 100% important, but it's really important. In my opinion, extremely important. And that is, boom! Coffee brand coffee. There we go. Coffee brand coffee. Get my beautiful face out there. We're just going to talk about the coffee. I have to look at Coffee brand coffee. Some of you know I'm an affiliate of Coffee brand coffee. I've been schlepping them. So they have a variety of coffees. Let's check out a few. They got the classics, light to dark, some Ethiopian light roasts, double caffeinated. They got bourbon flavored. Orange creamsicle, s'mores, etc. So many different flavors of coffee, but this here is my favorite right here, the French toast flavor. That is what I'm currently drinking, is French toast flavored coffee, and I have to say it is delicious. But if you're not a coffee drinker, you're someone who doesn't need the coffee or doesn't want the coffee, they have tea. They have some tea. I assume it's delicious. I don't drink tea, so I can't tell you if it's delicious, but I assume it is. They have classics, Earl Grey, green tea, lavender organic, or chamomile lavender, oolong. And they got some apple pie, biscotti, oolong, and coconut chai, etc. So if you're a tea drinker, they got some tea that you can drink. And if you don't drink tea or coffee, but you do like something hot and delicious when it's comes to these fall months, it's starting to become fall. Soon will be winter. They have some 3 different types of cocoa. I haven't tried the cocoa yet, but eventually I will. They got velvety, rich caramel, and marshmallow. So you got varieties of cocos that you can try. And then to go along with your coffee or cocoa or tea, you got a variety of snacks, all nuts, various types of nuts, and some saltwater taffy. You're into that stuff. So there's a variety of different options you got. Hold on. Oh, whoops. There we go. So yeah, there's Coffee Brand Coffee. Now the unique thing. My daughter's making noises upstairs. Sorry. So the unique thing about Coffee Brand Coffee is it's roasted to order, meaning it's not roasted until you order it. So it's as fresh as you could possibly get it without doing it yourself or going to the store that does it. So, it's as fresh as it could possibly be and delicious. It's highly reviewed. Lots of people like it. I think, it's generally been given a lot of 5 out of 5 over stars with the 4,000 customers, probably more at this point. But yeah, you just check out some delicious Coffee Brand Coffee. I don't think you'll regret having it at all. I drink it regularly, so much so that I became an affiliate so I could get a discount because I drink too much Coffee Brand Coffee. No, I'm joking. Well, I'm not joking. I do drink a lot of it, but it is what it is. Say lovely. All right. So, but like I said, there's a coupon code you see floating down there with my banner. And it's coffee. It's the coupon code is GHOST right there, all capital letters. And then there's also a referral link you can use. You can use this referral link, and both the referral link and the coupon code gives you 5% off. Now, if you subscribe, you get 10% off. Now, if you use that, subscription or the subscription, you can't use the coupon code referral link to get an additional 5%, but you get to 10%. So 10's better than 1, I suppose, right? But still, use this referral link right here. Gives me the credit because I'm not doing this for free. I am a hoe, and I like to get money as much as I can. But yeah, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. You won't regret it. All right. So here we go. All right. So here we go. Baboom. So this kid here is wearing apparently at somewhere on his backpack, a military looking backpack, with the camo and all that stuff. I'm not military style, as in it's a fashion sense. I mean, this looks like an actual backpack you'd get in the military. So apparently he had the Gadsden flag on there, a patch of it. Now, if you don't know what, hold on, before I can even, I forgot something. Even though I don't really normally get people watching this stuff. It's always good to have this pop out ad or pop out chat. It's not really important to me, honestly, because I don't really get many people. That's okay. It's good to have just in case. Anyways. Oh, shoot. All right. So those who don't understand what the Gadsden flag is. It's the Don't Tread on Me flag. So just for the people who don't know what it is. Boom. That's the Gadsden flag. It's the Don't Tread on Me flag. Yellow background, serpent, don't tread on me. Kind of the inspiration between my banner. It's a symbol of. It's really became a symbol of 2A2. To be fair, because a lot of whenever you do 2A, you kind of see this a lot. So there we go. All right, so now let's go back to this video and check out this thing, because the person that's suspending or kicking this kid out of class or whatever, suspending him, whatever, is very fucking wrong on her assertions, and we'll discuss it why. And apparently, this kid's got a little bit of a feud with his teacher, which you can say good on him. So let's check it out.
They do not want the flag. The reason we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade. That is what is the reasoning behind them.
Even the mom was like, said what it has to do with, and she's going with the slavery. All right, hold on.
The Gadsden flag. The don't tread on me.
She doesn't even know what the Gadsden flag is. She doesn't even know that the Gadsden flag is the "Don't Tread on Me" one. Now, to be fair to this teacher, I didn't know that's what it's called. I always called it the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, so I didn't know what it's called. So to be fair, I'm an idiot too. But this is like a teacher or like some sort of principal figure. Kind of should know this shit.
So he's what's going to happen if he doesn't take it off?
He is able to go. I was actually just telling him, like, I was upset that he's missing so much school. I'm like, so I asked if can he just take his stuff out of his bag and go back to class? Like, I just want him to go back to class. The bag can't go back. It's got a patch on it because we can't have that in and around other kids. So that's what I was trying to, and then he said we were close. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with slavery. That's like the Revolutionary War patch that was displayed when they were fighting the British. Like that's the revolution.
She doesn't care. Look, this teacher doesn't give, or principal, whatever the fuck she is, she doesn't give a shit what it's about. She has in her mind asserted that it has to deal with slavery. It's not accurate at all. But she doesn't care.
The Confederate flag.
Okay, I
Is
am
there a
just
history
here
of
to
that you
enforce.
tell me?
No, I am here to enforce the policy that was provided by the district. And definitely you have every right to not agree with it. I mean,
Because the
absolutely.
ACLU says that he's allowed to wear that. If you go on their website, it's says in big
So
letters.
all I'm saying is that
Unless there's a ban on patches, period. Like if you said there's no patches allowed in the school, you cannot display what you think or anything like that, or cheer or anything like that. I think it's one-sided, because you allow some patches but not other patches.
Discriminating against my patches, motherfucker.
Yeah. That was flown during the revolution, but I just don't understand that at all.
so what I can do is
And
have you
if you
speak
go onto
to
the
our-
ACLU's website, let's talk to
I
someone,
can,
because
I
I
can
don't want
have
a
you
lawsuit.
speak
I really
to,
don't.
I can have you speak to Jeff Yoakum
Okay.
again. And then he can refer you to our person at the district.
Okay.
Because like I said, we're following district policy is what.
Oh, sure.
So the last thing I want is him out of class.
Yeah, I know,
That's all
he
the last
takes
thing I
his
want.
classes seriously, he
Yes.
studies, he
It's,
wants to get straight A's.
This mom's too nice. I would not be this nice, but I'm not going to have my kid in public school. So
Did that, he made honor roll when he was here before, he intends to do that again right now, but it's hard because he keeps missing class for this. So,
I understand that.
yeah, and we teach him to always stick up for your beliefs, and you're going over the revolution for 7th grade. The founding fathers stood up for what they believed in against unjust laws. This is unjust.
Okay, like I said, we're upholding a policy.
like she said, she doesn't give a fuck what what the reasoning is. She doesn't want it in there because she's an idiot.
That was provided to us, which we have to uphold.
Okay, can you show me where the policy?
All right, so there it is. Now, the mother is 100% right. Okay, this has nothing to do with slavery, dumbass. had everything to do with the revolution. It was. I don't understand why she thought it was for slavery. And even when she's told it wasn't had to do with slavery, she's still like, "Oh, I don't care." She doesn't give a shit. She didn't like, because here's what really is the problem. It has nothing to do with the flag itself. It's what that flag symbolizes. And like I've said before, it's generally been symbolized with the 2A and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter what the flag was representing, what he was using. She thinks it's a bad flag because somehow she thinks it represents slavery. It doesn't. It had everything to do with the revolutionary. It was, let's see. God, yeah, that thing's like going way too. So, just get some background on it. It's a rattlesnake, as you know. Here we go. Let's bring this up so you can go through this. Like, look, she didn't really, like, the teacher there, or principal, whatever, she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't give a fuck what the origin is. She sees this "Don't Tread on Me" flag as a bad thing because it's worn by right-wing groups, I guess you could call them, that, that are racist and terrible. That's why she associated it with slavery. She has no idea what it means, and she doesn't give a shit what it means. She saw it as, someone wearing a flag that's right wing. That's what she pretty much saw. She saw a right wing flag and doesn't care about the history because she's a fucking idiot. All right. So here's the meaning of and significance of it. By the time 1775 rolled around, the rattlesnake was immensely popular symbol of America. It could be found throughout the 13 colonies on everything from buttons and badges to paper money and flags. No longer was the snake cut into pieces. It was now recognizable. The American timber rattlesnake coiled into attack position with 13 rattles on its tails, obviously representing 13 colonies. The flag takes on a specific historical significance at the Battle of Bunker Hill. This battle, still celebrated in Boston, is where Colonel William Prescott famously gave the orders, "Do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes." One thing the battle underscored was the Continental forces were woefully low on ammunition. That's why he gave that order. Was they were so low on ammo, they couldn't, and muskets were so inaccurate, they couldn't afford to miss. So they needed the British soldiers to get so close that missing was virtually impossible. And that's why he gave that order of, wait until they're so close you can see the white of their eyes, because then you'd more than likely not miss. In October of that year, the Continentals learned that 2 ships filled with weapons and gunpowder were headed for Boston. 4 ships were commissioned by the Continental Navy, led by Commodore S. Hopkins, ordered to get those cargo ships as their first mission. In addition to sailors, the ships carried Marines enlisted in Philadelphia. Their drummers had drums featuring the yellow of the Gladstone flag with the well-known snake emblazoned on top of it. It included the words "Don't tread on me," a now famous motto that adorns the clothing and accessories of freedom fighters from coast to coast. In December of 1775, an anonymous guesser wrote a letter to the Pennsylvania Journal. While the letter is anonymous, most scholars now agree it was written by Benjamin Franklin. This letter suggested, "As I know it is custom to have some devices on the arms of every country, I suppose this may have been intended for the arms of America." The rattlesnake is only found in North America. The anonymous Franklin's reasons were as follows: the rattlesnake is only found in North America. The creature has sharp eyes and may therefore be esteemed an emblem of vigilance. The snake isn't known for unprovoked attacks. However, once it does attack, it doesn't stop until it wins. What's more, even before attacking, the rattlesnake gives ample warning in form of its rattles. Franklin claimed in the letter that the snake's tail had 13 rattles, none of which would work independently of one another. So this is the we'll get into the history of it. While Franklin didn't get his wish, the Gadsden flag did find a place on the personal standard of Commodore Hopkins. No one is sure if his flag inspired the drums or if the drums inspired Hopkins. However, one thing is certain: the Gadsden flag, by virtue of being Hopkins' standard, was effectively the first flag of the American Navy and Marines. He later presented another copy of the flag to South Carolina legislator. But what of the man himself? Who was Gadsden? Christopher Gadsden was the designer of the flag. He's known as the Sam Adams of the South, both a soldier and a statesman. Gadsden was a founding member of the South Carolina's Southern Sons of Liberty chapter. He served as a delegate to both the First and Second Continental Congress. He left the Continental Congress in 1776 to serve as commander of the 1st Carolina Regiment of Continental Army. His legislative service continued in the Provincial Congress of South Carolina, and during the war, he was captured and served 42 weeks in solitary confinement after refusing to cut a deal with British expeditionary forces. After the war, his health was in poor shape, primarily due to his time spent in an old Spanish prison. Gadsden was elected to the position of governor of South Carolina, but declined the position due to his health. He remained in state legislature until 1788 and voted to ratify the United States Constitution. He died in 1805 and is buried in Charleston. The Gadsden Purchase in Arizona is named for his grandson, who was a diplomat. So yeah, but here's right here is why this teacher didn't like it. Right here, what it is today. Today you can find the Gadsden fan varies through the conservative libertarian protection movement. Tea parties waved it during their Obamacare protests in 2009. This is what caught the government's attention. The 2009 report, Missouri law enforcement called the Gadsden flag the most common symbol displayed by right-wing terrorist organization. The same year in Louisiana, a man was detained by police simply for having a "Don't Tread on Me" bumper sticker on his vehicle. Christopher Cantwell and other libertarians have added the rattlesnake and "Don't Tread on Me" legend to the distinctive black and yellow anarcho-capitalist flag. But yeah, so that's the history on it. So this lady over here who calls it some sort of thing on slavery, which is not, because she's an idiot. Let's be honest, that's what she is. She's a fucking idiot. She saw the flag and was like, bad, need to, not have. So she's an idiot. Now, there is an update. There is an update on this. Now, by the way, this was in Colorado, FYI. So there's an update to this. Apparently, something good has happened. So this is the Vanguard School. Dear Vanguard families, last week a student came to school with patches affixed to his backpack and half a dozen patches depicting guns/weapons and one referencing alcohol. Upon review by the district, they pointed out that in addition to these patches, the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, also known as the Gadsden flag, needed to be removed in accordance with Harrison School District 2 policy. Vanguard administrations consulted with district administrators who directed the school to inform the students' parents that the flag was not allowed at district schools. Vanguard administrations did what the fuck? I can't fucking. I don't even know what they did. Apparently, can't fucking find it. Okay. Whatever. I don't know what did happen. But yesterday, the student returned with the patch still visible on his backpack. Following the district's directions, Vanguard administration pulled the student aside so they could speak with his parents and the district. Upon learning of these events today, the Vanguard School Board of Directors called an emergency meeting. From Vanguard's founding, we have proudly supported our Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the order of liberty that all Americans have enjoyed for almost 250 years. The Vanguard School recognizes the historical significance of the Gadsden flag and its place in history. This instant is an occasion for us to reaffirm our deep commitment to a classical education in support of these American principles. At this time, the Vanguard School Board and the district have informed the student's families that he may attend school with the Gadsden flag patch visible on his backpack. So, all this hubbub, and he still gets to wear it. Talk about pointless. Talk about pointless. I don't know what did happen. Kind of annoying. Well, yeah, so there we go. So, we got an update. He's allowed to wear it. It's kind of funny. Because the mom, I want to show it, because the mom ended up posting a picture. Because apparently one of the teachers had a bunch of fucking symbols. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So sorry. So this is apparently an employee. And they have a bunch of their bumper stickers and shit. So, one can argue that's outside of school, it's in the parking lot, whatever. All right, so yeah, all that hubbub, and it's come to nothing because probably the school was afraid to get sued because if it's a little bit discriminatory if apparently they're allowing other students to wear their patches, but he can't wear his, and they're inaccurate on why they don't want it. They say it's because of slavery. It's nothing to do with slavery. It has to do with freedom and not being oppressed. Actually, that flag is probably the most anti-slavery flag we have, to be honest. All right. Speaking of freedom and commies, Eric Swalwell. Now, Eric Swalwell is very famous. He's a congressman from California who slept with with a Chinese spy and faced no issues for it. Still Congress. I don't think he even faced any penalties. So he's tweeted, ban assault weapons now, choose our kids over their killers. Now let's see what he has to say. I bet it's a bunch of bitch babble.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty pissed off that
why are you doing this in a bathroom?
Another community has had to suffer through, more communities, plural, have had to suffer through mass shootings in just the past 2 days. Jacksonville, a very racist, white supremacist, went out with an assault rifle and mowed down 3 people. And then today, right now, kids at UNC Chapel Hill are ducking and covering, running for their lives because a dangerous weapon has ended up in the hands of a dangerous individual. This way, we don't have to live this way. So here's what we have to do. We have to ban assault weapons. We have to buy them all back. We have to make sure the most dangerous weapons never end up in the hands of the most dangerous people. We must choose our kids, our children, the most precious people in our community. You must choose them over their killers. It's very binary. Either you choose them or you don't. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty pissed off.
All right, hold on. I'm double checking something. Okay, so this is. I wasn't sure because I remember there was a shooting recently. And they called the person white, and he is actually fucking Asian. So, okay. So this isn't the same guy. All right, just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. So let's listen to that one more time.
That another community has had to suffer through, no, more communities, plural, have had to suffer through mass shootings in just the past 2 days. Jacksonville, a very racist, white supremacist, went out.
Hold on. I don't know this guy's. Hold on. Oh, I can't read CNN's article on this. Okay.
Out with an assault rifle and mowed down 3 people. And then today, right now, kids at UNC Chapel Hill are ducking and covering, running for their lives because a dangerous weapon has ended up in the hands of a dangerous individual. We can't live this way. We don't have to live this way. So here's what we have to do. We have to ban assault weapons. We have to buy them all back. We have to make sure the most dangerous weapons never end up in the hands of the most dangerous people. We must choose our kids, our children, the most precious people in our community. We must choose them over their killers. It's very binary. Either you choose them or you don't.
No, or I choose them and will protect them with these same assault rifles. See, here's the problem with Eric Swalwell, besides being, Oh, it's also funny. So he mentions the race of the Jacksonville shooter. All right. Doesn't mention the race of the UNC Chapel shooter, who's Asian, by the way. So he doesn't mention them, his race. So, obviously this says nothing. This is less to do with guns, more to put, white man bad. Political points. This is all political points. Political theater. Now, here's the thing. Are these shootings terrible? Absolutely. Absolutely. These children are terrible. These shootings are terrible. It's another reason why I won't put my kids into public school, because they are a target. They are a target from bad people. Now, your solution may be, let's get rid of the guns. Even rid of the guns doesn't do anything about the bad people. It just gets rid of guns for the good people. People that will prevent what was I gonna say? Yeah, oh sorry. That's what I was gonna say. A lot of taking away guns isn't going to prevent killing. It's going to prevent killing using a particular weapon, but like for example, the Jacksonville shooter. This guy was so goddamn racist apparently that he wrote several manifestos. He hated black people so much. You think not owning a gun would have stopped him? No. He probably would have just mowed him down with a car, stabbed a bunch of them. There's gonna be he was gonna kill people regardless. Regardless, he was gonna kill people. It has nothing to do with the gun he had. It had nothing to do with it. Now Eric Swalwell wants to ban assault weapons because they're in mass shootings. Well, the most common type of most common gun used in homicides aren't AR-15s, which is what he's talking about when he says assault weapons. He whenever he says assault weapons, he's just thinking of an AR-15. That's all he thinks about. But it's handguns that are used in most U.S. homicides. Now, homicides because I don't want anyone confused. Homicides means death by hands of another person. Let me double check that. That's the legal definition. The unlawful killing of one person by another. So that is what a homicide is. So this, the statistic, handguns are used in nearly 2/3 of the nation guns murders. So handguns are actually used far more in homicides, which is death by another person. Now, why did I make sure to point that homicide part out? Well, because I'm confused. Because unlike the leftists, I don't want you to be confused. Unlike leftists, they will use words like gun violence to try and ban guns. Now, gun violence includes any violence used with that was done with a gun. Now, the violences include self-defense. Violences include suicides. Violences can include accidental discharge. Okay? So when I say homicides, I am talking about one person shooting another fucking person. And handguns are the ones that are more than likely used. So mass shootings, yeah, a lot of them use AR-15s. Well, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, so it's AR-15s generally are used in mass shootings. Okay, cool. But the gun that does the most damage are handguns. Now, talking about the Jacksonville shooting, racist person, he was going to do harm regardless of what you did. Now let's talk about the UNC Chapel Hill shooting. So it's an Asian guy. Now, Eric Swalwell conveniently left that out. And I think this is the one I was thinking about when I was thinking about, like, they were calling this guy white. Turns out he's Asian as fuck. Now, what could have prevented this guy from shooting people? Well, it wasn't a ban. Curious. Oh, believe. I'm just curious. I'm just looking. Just curious. Okay, I don't see what he used for a gun. Which is interesting. Maybe because I'm skimming through it very quickly. So maybe I'm just missing it. But I don't see what type of gun he used. And that kind of is somewhat telling. Because if it's an AR-15, they always talk about it. They always talk about it. They spread it around assault weapons, military style weapons, etc., etc. So I'm just looking, going a little slower this time, but it doesn't say. Oh, it's because the gun is yet to be recovered, but there's no eyewitness that says what type of gun it is. So odds are it's probably not an AR-15, probably a handgun. Interesting. Okay. Anyways. But yeah, so what would have stopped this, been more effective in stopping these, the UNC one? Well, it wouldn't be banning. What would it have been? Because if you ban it, then all that's going to happen is they're just going to either get it illegally or go and use something else. So, and I know there's that argument. Oh, but so then we shouldn't ban murder, etc. etc. No, that's dumb. But murder, like, you know, making illegal murder, it does. No one is under the delusion that banning, you know, making a law against murder will prevent murders. No, it's just a tool to punish people that do commit murder. It's a specific punishment against the person that perpetrated it. Okay, that's why, you know, that's why that argument is dumb, because it has nothing to do with preventing murder. No one, at least I don't think anyone in their sane mind would think that banning murder prevents murder from happening. All right, no one thinks that, I hope. But what it does is it specifically targets only the individual or individuals that committed said act. Banning weapons, assault rifles, AR-15s, whatever you want to call it, that only hurts. It only hurts the law-abiding citizens. That's the only people that hurt. Because say we do ban assault weapons. Say we ban AR-15s. Well, then they're going to buy a shotgun. They're going to buy bolt actions. They're going to buy lever actions. They're going to buy handguns. Okay? So you buy AR-15s, and, you know, a lot of these mass shooters, I will admit, do buy it legally, meaning they haven't brought any red flags until that point. So nothing would prevent it from that point. But they would buy a shotgun, they'd buy handguns, bolt actions, lever actions, brake actions, etc., etc., etc. So banning assault weapons doesn't do shit, okay? Because all it's going to do is cause them to go. And then you get the argument, will they be able to kill less people, etc., 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 blah, blah, blah. Well, if you shoot a shotgun in a crowd of people, you probably kill more people than you would an AR-15, just saying. But that's not the point. Here's the point. Something that would guarantee you to prevent, well, not guarantee, I won't say guarantee, but would cause a significant decrease in mass shootings at schools is armed security. Armed security would prevent the majority of mass shooters. Now, how do I know this? Well, from a variety of mass shooters accountings, they, you know, and whenever, you know, if they weren't specifically targeting a place, they would say, you know, I didn't go to this place because it had armed security. I went to a place I knew would happen. That happened in Buffalo, I think it was, where in New York, where that guy went and shot, I think a mall or convenience store or something. He specifically said, I went to this area because I knew they didn't have weapons. So he specifically said. So that's how we know that if you put armed security, you'll decrease the likelihood. Another way is to have, you know, teachers that want to be armed teachers. You know, and I do agree that if, you know, teachers are going to be armed, they do need to, you know, be required to have some training done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They can't just, you know, just bring in a gun one day. I do agree with that. They should, you know, get specific holsters. mostly like retention, level 3 retention holsters, basically learn how to draw and fire and everything like that. So I do believe in that. And that's specifically only for teachers that want to be armed. I don't think we should force teachers to be armed. I think that anyone who wants to be armed should have the option. Because if you see any of these mass shootings, what always happens? A good teacher, stands up and tries to protect his students and ends up dying for it. Now, you put that same teacher, you give him some training, and you give him a gun. A teacher doesn't die. He kills the goddamn shooter, and less people die because the shooter was stopped at the instant. Okay? So all these calls to ban assault weapons, AR-15s, whatever, all they are is points to try and win political points. That's all it is. If you don't think that, you're a fucking idiot, because that's all that it is. It's just a tool to win some political points, because they can't win any honest points. They got to win political points. And then they always use, dead kids as a way to tug at your heartstring to get you to agree with them. It's a tool to get you to say, okay, I don't want dead kids, so I'm going to ensure dead kids don't get killed. I am going to agree with them, because I don't want kids killed. No one wants kids killed. Anyone who wants kids killed is an asshole. But that's why they always use that emotion of dead kids and not logic, because they have no logic, because when their arguments make no logical sense. All right, everyone. I am done. You've listened to me talking. It's nearly an hour and a half. I apparently had a lot to say. I didn't think I would. But we are done. So make sure you follow me on X at @officialwghost. That is the best way to figure out when I'm going live, because I generally will tweet daily when I'm going live. I have a daily show Monday through Friday at 6:30ish. Oh, sorry, yawning. So check me out there. All right. Follow me on Rumble with Ghost right there. That is my Rumble channel. Rumble.com/C/W with G Ghost. Also on YouTube, I have that name on YouTube too. And then I have a gaming channel, Gaming with Ghost. I don't quite have enough following me there. I have not posted in a bit. But yeah, that is my Rumble channel for Gaming with Ghost. It's also on Kick as well. But again, follow me on X at @officialwghost. Then you can always click the link and follow me that way. Make it easier on yourself. And make sure you check out my Coffee Brand Coffee and use my referral link. Give me those points. I'm a hoe, and I need that money. I hope you all had a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you all enjoyed laughing at some dumbass teacher that doesn't know what the Don't Tread on Me flag is. Gadsden flag is. Now, again, I didn't know that's what it was called either, but I at least knew the history and had nothing to do with slavery. All right. I hope you all have a good day. Peace out.